Hey guys, Dell here from Dell's Rigging and Crane Tips. Oh yeah. It's a bit exciting. Oh yeah. Dell's Rigging and Crane Tips. Oh yeah. What's going on? Look guys, oh yeah. Um, today's episode, another pull-up episode. I'm pulling up on you. You know, I'm checking in. Tax time. You're doing your tax. What are you doing with it? Tuitara Taniwha, you getting that fold around laptop? Nah, bros, don't do it. You getting the new iPhone? Don't do it. You know what you should be doing, guys? You should be getting your next ticket, getting your advanced riggers, you're working at heights. I don't know about confined space, because do you want to be working in a hole? But if you need to get that, if you're a rigger, it's handy to have with your riggers. If you get fired from a job and you need to get a job quick, having all the tickets helps you get a new job quick, alright? So please, at least spend half of your tax return on a new ticket, if not all of it. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing. Investing back in yourself. Tell your missus, nah bruv, we don't need that. We don't need that dryer. We don't need that new Thermomix or some like gypsy oils. Don't need the doTERRA oils. We don't need lavender oil. Doesn't work. It's all shit. We don't need that new pyramid scheme. Those candles. Don't need that Tupperware. Just tell her, nah bruv, I'm spending it on me, and then we can get all the candles. We can get all the Tupperware. We can get that Thermomix, man. The NutriBullet. We can get everything, babe. Just let me spend money on myself. Alright? So check in. Another thing I want to do is just give you an update. Market update of what cranes are doing around in Australia. So, and this is just to give you some confidence in the market. Many of you, there's a few of my guys who have been emailing me. They've got no work at the moment and it's a bit tough, and they think, man, is there anything happening? Yeah, well, there is a few things happening. The real estate industry is in a big bubble, man, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. So if you're thinking about buying a house lately, I know this is off topic, I would wait a little bit, because I think prices are going to come down. Mandurah in Western Australia is, man, all-time low. It's actually horrific scenes down there. Sydney and Melbourne are still doing quite good in real estate, and then there's Queensland. But there's a bit of a bubble. I think that's going to pop if you're a conspiracy theorist. The CEC report on YouTube, have a look at that and how the market's going. Not that good. But what they are realising is that infrastructure projects help their economy. And the only thing that is helping us as well is the high iron ore price. The iron ore price is like double what it was 3 years ago. So that's helping Australia. Now, if you're not in Australia, this might sound a bit foreign to you, but look, you gotta know how your country's doing to your particular job. You know what I mean? And so I'll give you just something to give you some confidence in things which are happening around Australia pertaining to cranes. Alright? So we'll come here and we'll go here. Now this, I hope you can see it. These are national infrastructure projects. So this might give you a bit of peace of mind when it comes to what's happening around the country. Now, New South Wales, if you're a brother from New South Wales, we've got Western Sydney Airport, 5.3 billion. The airport is due to open in 2026 and expected to support 28,000 jobs. So heaps of crane work in there for cranies in Sydney. Another thing I heard about Sydney, bruv, is Sydney right now has got the most cranes per capita than any other city in the world at the moment. Seems strange. I thought Dubai would probably have more cranes. But apparently Sydney has got the most cranes per capita. Per capita means, I think, per head of person or per 100,000 people or something like that. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I never finished high school, so that's what it means. But yeah, there's heaps of cranes in Sydney. So if you're looking for rigging and crane jobs, man, Sydney's a good place to start. I don't think you'll be out of work there. So we'll just go back to it. And that's not due to open until 2026, so there's heaps of work until then. Heaps of work. The WestConnex in Sydney, 16 billion. WestConnex is almost halfway done. The mega project is aiming to support Sydney's booming population. WestConnex will be better connect Western Sydney to better employment hubs along the city, creating 10,000 direct and indirect jobs. Look at that, WestConnex. Alright. Victorian Brothers of the Hook. What do we got in Victoria? Melbourne Metro Tunnel. Now tunnels, man, tunnels are awesome because they give you good wages, and they also give you this thing called PIP or some retirement fund or something. And so when you leave the job, when the tunnel's complete, you get this bonus like 40 or 30 grand at the end of it. So there'll be something that I'd be looking into. I know that my mates in Brisbane, when they finished the tunnels there, they got hooked up. Queensland infrastructure project. If you're a homeboy from Queensland and the cranes, we've got Bruce Highway upgrade, 8.5 billion. Bro, some cash. Bruce Highway runs over 1,677 kilometres from Brisbane to Kent in Queensland, most significant highway. Traffic levels on Bruce Highway range from 40,000 to 145,000 vehicles each day. And they've got some tunnels, rail, Cross River Rail, 5.4 billion. Cross River Rail incentive to be announced in May 2017. Conflict with the federal government. And look, it even gives here. So this is iseekplant.com.au blog, Australia Infrastructure up here. I might put that in the description below so you can have a look. Whatever state you're in, you can have a look yourself. I just noticed here, CPB contractors. If you don't know, that used to be Leighton's. They went into liquidation. I don't know if they did or not, sorry. I won't speculate. But they've come back out as CPB contractors. And they've always been right. They've always had alright wages, so that's something. Alright, Western Australia. That's us, man. Best place in Australia, I think. Metronet, $1.854 billion. This includes the following. Forest Field Airport Link, which is underway. They gave it to some shoddy contractor, and there's people in the tunnels canoeing to work. So I've seen that one, but I think it's getting better. Extended to the Joondalup line, linking Thornley at and Coburn Central stations. Planning on building a new Morley-Ellenbrook line. My mate Calvo, he's been getting heaps of work on his 500 tonner doing all these bridges which are a part of this. So there's a bit of work out of that if you're in the right company in Perth. There is also Bunbury Highway upgrade, Great Northern Highway Badoon bypass. Not much happening in Western Australia, but our funds never get allocated to Western Australia. Everything goes to Sydney and Melbourne, but you know, I won't go on about that. If you're a brother from South Australia, Adelaide North-South Corridor, so another infrastructure roads project. Big huge project. There's more information here. Gawler rail line electrification. Project wins this year in South Australia. Government choosing to fund the project. However, the federal government choose to match South Australian funding in a 50-50 split in the budget, ensuring the projects get completed. Northern Territory. If you're up in Darwin, bros. I don't even know if Darwin's a part of Northern Territory. I'm pretty sure it is. This mega 1.45 billion project, Sea Dragon, focuses on development of advanced prawn aquaculture production facilities in Leeuwin Station, approximately 130 km northeast of Kanara. See, heaps of Franna work, heaps of light construction, maybe big. There's big tanks planning to go in there, man. So there's a lot of work and there's a lot of infrastructure, and the government needs to do this because there's a lot of smarter things we could be doing to make Australia really good. You know what I mean? And I'm all in with Australia, man. It's given me heaps of work, given me better opportunity in cranes, and given me and my family a way better life. And so, yeah, I am a Kiwi, but I've fully implemented the Australian lifestyle because of what it gives me, man. It gives me a way better life, a way better life. Not to diss New Zealand, but there's no jobs there, man. And the weather's shit, and everyone's miserable, man. And you know, you can't look at someone and want to beat you up. It's like, man, like I love that place because my family, that's where I grew up as well. But within work-wise and mental health-wise, man, like I don't know, like it's really good to visit, man. I'm not bagging New Zealand out. New Zealand's good. There's just no work there. That's it. There's just no good, high-paying work. That's the reality. You know what I mean? That's reality. There's no good, high-paying work. You know what I mean? For unskilled people. Like, I'm not a tradesman. I'm a crane operator. You know, it isn't a trade. It is a profession, I would say, because you do have to be professional at it. But you know, unskilled worker can make a good wage in Australia, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. Anyway, so that's it. So as we come out of there, this is a bit of an update. You know, like it's good things. Things are happening in Australia. So if you're thinking that work's not picking up or nothing's going to happen, it is. Things are happening, infrastructure's happening. The way to boost an economy is to put heaps of money into infrastructure because it gives money back to Australians who put money back into the economy. You know what I mean? And so there is a lot of stuff happening. I hope this real estate bubble, I hope they do some laws to counter that. I know the banks and the banking system are up to shit, man. They're always sneaky and trying to get these max profits, and they fabricate all these lies to keep the real estate market looking like it's growing, but it's gone up too high for too long, and so there might be a crash coming in it. But so that's why you've got to save your pennies anyway. So another thing I just want to go through here is I'll come back, is just for my guys and anyone looking for jobs. So I've just typed in here onto Seek, I've typed in crane, that's what I always do, Western Australia. Now we've got leading hand serviceman, Tadano. Yep, cool, that's paying good. Man, if you're a mobile mechanic or a mobile electrician, get into fixing cranes, man, because you will kill it, and they're on huge money because no one's doing it. So if you're mechanically minded or electrical minded, get into doing cranes, man. You'll be sought after forever. Crane truck driver. Now what I'm getting at here, K&I Group, Prestige Recruitment, Testicide Group, Pearl Recruitment, Freo Group, they're still hiring straight to the man. Western Gold Resources, Freo Group again, Hayes Recruitment, CBD Contractors, that's Leighton's again, that's their new name. Prestige Recruitment. Look at all these labour hire companies. My goodness, that's the only thing that's stopping people get good jobs is these labour hire companies. Sure People Solutions, like what is that? Sure People, like it's these labour hire companies which make it so easy for bigger companies to just go, oh, we'll just go through you because you take care of everything. But something really needs to happen with this because, and PGC Resources, especially with crane work, Like I don't want to bag any company out, but I mean, there's guys who have been working for PGC for 4 years, doing over full-time hours. Like they're doing the hours, man, and they're going jumping from shut to shut to shut, and they're still not full-time, and it's bullshit in a way. It really is because I mean, you don't know when your next job is or when you start, or you don't know when your money's, so you can't plan anything. You know, working this casual labour hire way does nothing for mental health of cranies or riggers, does nothing for making them happier or letting them plan out with your family or whatever. It's just, I think it's awful. So while they have their place in getting you some work, if you're out of work, I would be trying to get full time somewhere. So you've got your holidays, even if you have to take a pay cut, so you've got your holidays, you've got your sick days, you've got all this stuff that you can do, you know what I mean? And that's what it's about. So I don't know what needs to happen as far as this labour hire stuff, because that's what's kind of ruining our crane and rigging industry, is that we're not getting employed by the men anymore. We're getting employed by these labour hire companies who are just casual. And just being casual isn't good for you, man, like I was saying. So something needs to happen. Hopefully the union can try and push some law change. Hopefully they can, make it into maybe the government can enforce something which makes it more enticing for companies to have full-time employees, and I don't know what they need to do, or hire full-time employees, because at this stage, there's a lot of cronies who are like, man, like, I don't want to work every day of my life, because if I say no to a shutdown to these labour hire companies, you could not get hired again. It's bullshit, and they're doing full-time work. So yeah, that's why I'm still with the union, because I know everyone's got arguments in union. Everyone goes, oh, they don't do anything for us anymore. And I should have the biggest argument. Look, man, I was a union delegate, and under my reign, we voted down this pay cut, and which was good. I was really proud of the boys because they were breaking our initial agreement. We get 4 pay rises in 4 years, and then they wanted to cut it and break it down. It's like, well, this is an agreement. Then what happened is we voted it down, and then somehow they sacked 4 of our long-termers, and that really cut me, man. And there's nothing that the union could kind of do, so it really cut my and I felt bad because I was a delegate. I thought at least I could have went first, but I guess they don't want to sack a delegate. So yeah, and then the next time they voted it through, the next couple of weeks, it got through because everyone was scared. They don't want to lose their jobs, and so there's this fine line between union and non-union members within the crane industry, and especially in Perth, no one's union anymore. And then so there's this fine line between union, non-union, and they do have valid points either side. And I've seen the valid points on the other side. I've seen 4 of the people under my reign get sacked, and nothing was done about it. You know what I mean? And it was blatantly because we said no to these cuts, and they said, and the company's reason was, well, we can't afford this and we need to make, but yet they're hiring casuals left, right and centre every day to make up for the work. So man, I don't know, man, but it's just dodgy times. It's just like, can't we just sew up this stupid labour hire sort of work and this casualised workforce? Do we really want to go with like the American way, where everyone's casual and everyone's getting no rates, and you get no holidays, you get no sick days, you get no this? Do we want to go that way, or do we want to keep the Australian way, which is good wages, good benefits, hard work, and having a dig? You know what I mean? And I know there is these people who hide behind the union because they're really lazy. I know there's a small percentage of those guys, but the other percentage are hard-working Australians, and if we all call ourselves Australians because we all work here, you know what I mean? And that's what we want. So at the end of the day, I've seen the bad side of unions and the good side, but at the end of the day, I want better wages. I want better conditions. And if that's their sole purpose and that's what they do, and Brisbane's sewing up with the union, and so is South Australia, and they're getting good wages. My mates over in Brisbane, they're getting good wages, and it's because of the union presence in their city. And then I get to hear, and there's guys who are like, oh no man, I hate union. And then in the same breath, they're whinging about their wages, and their wages have gone down for the last 3 years, and they're non-union. So it puzzles me. I'm like, well, what do you want? You can't whinge about something, do nothing about it, and you can't do nothing. You can't sit there and do nothing about your case, and then whinge about the exact reason why it's happening. Like, I don't know. There's an argument there, for and against. You know what I mean? And there's valid arguments against the union, and there's valid arguments for the union. But my underlying why I'm still in the union and pay my dues is because I want better conditions and better wages. And I know, they come around every 6 months and they give you a barbecue and then you don't see them again, stuff like that. I know, but they are working. They do have a purpose, and their purpose is good. You know what I mean? If you can't afford to be in the union, well, you got to do what you got to do, man. I'm not no chess beater. You got to do what you got to do. But I'm just supporting, I'm just supporting what I think's right, and you should do what you think's right. I don't know. There's no judgment from me. But anyway, that's the Crane market update, guys. Work's happening. Get amongst it. Get your next ticket. Don't get the fold-around laptop. Spend it on new tickets. Anyway, guys, that's my Wednesday ramble for 20 minutes. Like these videos, subscribe here. Dale's Rigging and Crane Tips. Yeah.